Thank you. Welcome to the Planning Commission. This is April 17th, 2024. I am Commissioner Dave Risberger. Let's do a quick roll call here. Commissioner Maskin.
Here.
Commissioner Baskin.
Here.
Commissioner Swan.
Here.
Commissioner Harlem.
Here.
And hopefully we will be joined by some of our other commissioners. I hear somebody coming down the hallway now. So first of all, do we have any correspondence?
No.
I'm going to open this up to the audience right now to see if we have initial public comment. I think before we have 3 items on the docket tonight, and I think there'll be further time to have public comment for each one later on. But is there any initial public comment from anybody? Okay, so the first order of business is we need to select a chair and a vice chair for 2024. Since we don't have a chair, our previous chair is not here anymore. Does anybody have any nominations? Anybody they would like to nominate as chair? Commissioner Swan?
I'd like to nominate our newly arrived guest.
Sorry, Steve will also be here momentarily. We both just came from an event at SUNY Oneonta. Apologies.
So you're nominating Commissioner Masucci? Do we have a second? Second? Okay. Well, let's take the roll.
Vice Chair Gucci,
Yes.
Commissioner Maskin,
Yes.
Commissioner Baskin,
Yes.
Commissioner Swan,
Yes.
Commissioner Risberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Harlan.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay. We also need a nomination for Vice Chair for 2024. Do we have any nominations for Vice Chair? Commissioner Swan.
I nominate Commissioner Risberger.
I'm willing to do it.
I'll second that again.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, take a roll.
Chairman Gucci,
Yes.
Commissioner Maskin,
Yes.
Commissioner Baskin,
Yes.
Commissioner Swan,
Yes.
Commissioner Risberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Harlan.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay. So, and that note, I'll turn the meeting over to our chair.
Good luck. Okay, what did I miss?
So I would like to take one thing off the plate, if I could be so bold. The minutes for November 15th, an error was discovered in them. I'd like to further review them before you approve them, so if you don't mind, I'd like to hold them until the next meeting. If you guys are okay with that? Yes, please. Thank you.
Yep.
As long as it's not 6 months from now.
Okay. All right, so we're on to new business.
Do you want to go forward with this now, or do you want to wait until Stephen, is he like imminently?
Steven just walked in.
He just walked in. Great.
Just walked in. We ran down as fast as we could. Okay. So new business. First applicant, James Reynolds with Sydney Federal Credit Union at 42 Union Street, Sydney, New York. Looking at the Sydney Federal Credit Union in Oneonta on Market Street at 53.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael O'Reilly. I'm from Principal Design in Norwich. We're here to represent the credit union, specifically related to the Market Street branch. Right over the corner here. Presented this primarily to Stephen and his team. The objective is to modify this building in its current condition and bring it up to current branding standards, and ultimately reduce the footprint size. It's a giant space that's underutilized, and convert some of that space into parking. So I think the genesis of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, was all the work you guys are doing on Market Street
exit into the new parking lot?
So this will be a two-way, basically a two-way road is our understanding to the parking
Okay.
lot now.
Okay.
So, working with the city still, but the idea is to maintain one-way traffic. We don't want people entering the wrong
Right.
directions. It's a big issue we have with banks and credit unions. So we'll probably do some radius on this curb line to force people down Water Street and not up it. But at the end of the day, this is gonna be a two-way road talking to the city. Yeah, it's a little, because it's one way now, so it's a little confusing.
That's the road that the ramp is currently at, which will
Correct.
then become the
Yep,
two-way
it's
street.
gonna be at grade now is our understanding.
Okay.
They're actually lowering that road, the ramp right now is gonna be about 2.5 feet lower than where it currently is. Maybe not the current moment, 'cause it's pretty deep last time I was over there, so ultimately 2 feet lower than the current grade that's there.
Okay. Do any commissioners have any questions?
So on the short environmental assessment form, I'm noticing there are some areas that are blank or not filled in. Okay, so like, for example, on number 9, does proposed action either exceed state energy code requirements? It's filled in yes, if the proposed action will exceed requirements, describe design features and technologies as well.
We can fill that in, at the end of the day, what we're using are heat pumps.
I love it, I mean, I love the design myself. And then same goes for 13, does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by federal, state, local agency? That's checked yes, but, B is blank, would proposed action physically alter or encroach any existing wetlands or water bodies?
In our perspective, it would not, I think.
I would agree with that assessment.
Yeah, I think over here, I think there may be some across the street is where I've seen it in the past. We can provide that comment for you.
Sure. Last one is number 20.
Yeah, Steven. So, before we dig into the seeker review,
Yeah.
so when you do seeker, like, part of that review process is going to be seeker itself. So, right now, they've done a presentation, you would ask questions about the presentation. Then what we would do is with the seeker, under the seeker law, this could technically be a type 2 action, which would require no additional review under seeker. They filed a seek to the short environmental assessment form. So the commission would need to determine how they're going to classify this action under seeker. So if it's classified as a type 2 action, it requires no further review, and a seek is not irrelevant. You can talk about it, but it wouldn't be required. If you wanted to classify it as an unlisted action, that's when you would really dig into that seek and go through those items individually. One of the criteria of having something listed as a type 2 action is essentially in-kind replacement of a structure. I think you could argue that this is mostly an in-kind replacement. They're not building a new building, they're not increasing the footprint, they're not really changing the paving or the, so when you get into seeker, that's where you would dig into this form. And that would be if you decide to classify this action as an unlisted. But I think you could probably classify this as a type 2 action, as an in-kind replacement of the structure. But that'll be up to the commission, but that's when you would get into this, once you actually move into the discussion of seeker.
Thank you, Cliff.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Steve. I have a question. Sorry I'm late, so I might have missed it. On that same form, and I understand we don't have to look at the form right now, but you check the box, no to consistent with adopted comprehensive plan. Like, this is not.
I think, just talking to his team, my understanding was materiality was different. And then the MU1 district, it was a little, I'm not exactly clear how you guys, all those districts that you created, so I was leaning on Steven for that. I just understood that it was a little different than what's commonly adopted.
So this structure is not conforming to the new zoning ordinance. This project will have to go to the zoning board of appeals for, area variances, related to, essentially what you have is a non-conforming structure, it already is not conforming to the zone. They are doing alterations to this building that will not bring this building into conformance with the MU1 code. aspects of the building. What you guys are reviewing is material, traffic flow, like how they're screening parking, whether they are screening parking, kind of just the generic aspects of the building. But because they are not bringing this building into conformance with the code, it will have to go to the ZBA for area variance review. But our code says, you guys do the planning part, you do the review of that, the zoning board separately, once you approve a conditional site plan, this would then go to the zoning board, and they would review it for area variances, like the setback, parking. It's not going to be a 3-story building, so they'll have to get relief from that. The zoning board will review that aspect of the code.
So would ours be subject to the zoning board approving those setbacks and?
You would be giving a conditional approval based on the zoning board. So you guys would say, yeah, we can approve this as long as the zoning board of appeals approves the area variance. If the zoning board, if this project goes to zoning board of appeals and they say, no way, Jose, then it's gonna be back to the drawing board, because you guys cannot provide relief from the zoning code. All you guys can do is review a site plan and say, yes, this site plan's okay, pending approval by the zoning board of appeals. So if you guys looked at this and said, we hate the traffic flow, it's gonna be dangerous, we hate the siding material, it doesn't meet the code, so we wanna scratch it, you could do that, because that's what you guys have the ability to approve or deny. But the zoning board is the only one that can provide relief from the zoning code.
And I think we're on schedule for next week.
Yep. So they will go to the zoning board next week, pending you guys either approving or denying the site plan.
So we'll write a determination that will then go to the zoning board.
You guys would say, we approve the site plan based on the project that was presented, with conditional approvals based on zoning board review. And they have a separate memo that breaks down what they're reviewing.
So Stephen, do we need to make 2 determinations? One to determine this to be a type 2 and one to approve the site plan per review to the zoning board?
Correct, so you could not take any action until you carry out seeker. Seeker's required before you make any sort of determination. So what you would do is, you guys would make a determination. If you think it's an unlisted action, you wanna go through the seek, that's totally fine. Maybe it's overkill, but it's still a good thing to do. It's not a bad thing. If you determine that it's a type 2 action, which under seeker, I think you can make that determination, and I think I even included the section under seeker.
You did.
You could determine it's a type 2 action, it's categorically not required to do seeker. You would then determine it to be a type 2 action, you vote on it, that would end seeker, that would close out the seeker process, and then you would go on to either approve or deny the site plan.
Okay.
Did you guys already talk about materials then?
We did briefly, but actually, James, if you wouldn't mind just giving us a little bit more detail to the proposed materials for the renovations and the exterior.
Yeah, I can pass these 2 materials around. So this is what we call vented grain screen. So it has a water membrane applied directly to the sheathing. So the rain screen actually is vented to dry it out. These are the 2 materials we use on their branding now. I think that color may vary just a little bit. But that's the aluminum siding rain screen we use on the upper portion that has a black, almost black color. And then the lower side is that gray color. It's got a little bit of a gloss level to it, so it does reflect light a little bit. All the lighting on the front of the building is all indirect. We just kind of, everything is kind of just glows. There's no direct lighting anywhere when you look at the building. That tree you see in the front of the rendering, we use that for brand identity. All the branches have that now. That actually provides enough lumen outlet that we can light the front vestibule area as well. So it's got a really neat look.
So, what about this material is not compliant with our?
My understanding is because more or less because it's aluminum, it's metal, which you guys don't permit metal use. So, I mean, understanding why you don't permit metal, but this is really a neat product.
So the zoning code for the downtown, specifically says materials have to be drawn off existing materials like brick, wood, it lists those materials specifically. Metal, there's actually an image in our zoning code that says metal could be acceptable, but it's upon you guys' approval, because there's a lot of different metal products, some of them are very bad.
clear and understanding. Can you just walk us through the flow of traffic? So I know that people will be entering, they'll be,
Entrance will remain the way it currently is.
Okay.
And I did not label this street. The hotel is over here.
yep,
So they're gonna enter basically in the front like they currently do,
Mhm.
or they'll drive around the building, enter through the driveway like they currently do.
okay,
Instead of exiting back onto Market Street, our understanding was there's traffic issues
yep,
with the design that happened there, so they were trying to remove this exit point. That's just a potential for issues. So what the city asked us to do was basically move the exit up onto
Okay.
Water Street.
and then there will just be additional parking to fill in that area that was
Correct. Yeah, we
the
picked up,
previous
I
exit.
think, roughly 4 spots here.
Okay,
So we have 4 here and then up the side so we can accommodate staff.
okay,
Yeah, there's definitely an issue, we just don't have staff parking, that's our biggest problem. Their parking, so known as right now.
okay.
Yeah.
Do any commissioners?
We won't be exiting on Water Street, I'm sorry, whatever that new street becomes, yes, that's what the city wants us to discharge the traffic patterns.
So Susan, it's where the ramp is currently, but that ramp is coming down. So the two-way traffic, there will be a two-way street, one that you can pull into that will have the exit for the bank and also the entrance to the parking lot for the transit hub. And then they will also have the exit traffic for people that are pulling out of the bank.
Correct. There's gonna be 2-way traffic on that street. Unlike how it currently is.
Do any commissioners have any other questions? Well, then I will make a motion to accept this as a type 2.
I'd second.
A type 2 action under seeker. In other words, this does not impact the environment, and it's not precluded from environmental review.
Can you
Correct?
just read the section? I think there's a section that I included in the note.
Yep, I can do that. Two nine.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I was reading.
for the under environmental assessment form review. So just read all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, read that.
Okay, so I will make a motion to accept this as a type 2 action under seeker, the replacement, rehabilitation, or reconstruction of a structure or facility in kind on the same site, including upgrading buildings to meet building, energy, or fire codes, unless such action meets or exceeds any of the thresholds in the section 617.4 of this part. And the rest of it too? That is my motion. I'm not saying it again.
And I still second it.
Thank you.
Do we need to do roll?
So you're gonna ask if there's any further discussion
Is
from
there-
the commission?
Is there any further discussion from the commission? We call roll.
Chairman Pucci?
Yes.
Vice Chair Risberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Maskin?
Yes.
Commissioner Baskin?
Yes.
Commissioner Levis?
Yes.
Commissioner Swan?
Yes.
Commissioner Harlan? Yes. Motion passes.
And Stephen, is the second that we need to approve the site plan review?
So you're, yeah, you would either approve or deny the site plan review. You could also approve the modification, I mean, however version of that you want to do. And this specifically would be approval of the site plan, including the materials that were presented as part of the site plan application. Additionally, I don't know if we discussed street trees, because that's part of this, but I think those are part of the city's project, and we can discuss that.
Yeah, we have to work, because I did measure, we have 1 tree, well, we have a couple that are gonna remain, but they're also modifying it.
Okay.
And I don't remember what was on your drawings.
Okay, so, but yeah, so I would just say what you're approving or denying would be the site plan, and which would include the material choices that we presented as part of the site plan. And that would be conditional on the ZBA approving any required variances.
Okay, so I will also make a motion to approve the site plan review without any current needed modifications upon the the determination of the zoning board.
And inclusive of their material choices.
And inclusive of their material choices.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion from the commission? And call roll?
Chairman Fucci?
Yes.
Vice Chair Risberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Maskey? Commissioner Baskin?
Yes.
Commissioner Lettuce? Commissioner Small?
Yes.
Commissioner Harvey? Passes.
Do you guys want those materials or can I take?
Yeah, I was gonna take them.
Do you want them? Thank you.
It's been a project.
Okay, one down, two to go. Next up, we have Rich Harlem for 42 Clinton Street, proposing to subdivide an existing vacant parcel facing on Clinton Street and combine with 40 and 38 Cherry Street.
Good evening, thank you for your time and consideration. I'm here tonight with Lloyd Boyd, the owner of 40 Cherry Street, and then Megan and Paige Stone, who are the owners of 38 Cherry Street. Lloyd also owns a vacant lot at 42 Clinton Street. That lot runs behind 38 and 40 Cherry Street. And what he has proposed to do is divide that lot into two lots, and the portion of the lot that's behind Megan and Paige's home, he's going to deed to them. And then he's gonna retain the portion of the lot that's behind his home at 40 Cherry. Of course, if that subdivision is approved, then that portion of 42 Clinton that's behind Megan and Paige's home would be a landlocked parcel. So what I've done is I've provided you folks with a draft deed wherein Lloyd conveys that portion of 42 Clinton Street to Megan and Page. But they also signed the deed asking, requesting that the county merge their existing property at 38 Cherry Street with this additional landlocked piece to form one tax map. And I've also provided you with a deed where Lloyd reconveys 40 Cherry Street to himself, along with that portion of 42 Clinton Street that's behind his house, so that that will be merged into a single tax map parcel. You have the survey map, Boston Engineering, Boston Surveying provided the map. Have you seen the map?
I don't have that.
No.
No.
Okay, well, I have the map.
Good.
No,
I went on the
Like, I don't have that.
see it.
Thank you for being prepared.
I have maps, so I can bring it up.
I have actually several versions, several copies of it. They're all spread out, it's really hard to see. This is Leslie's first meeting, and I know she's recusing herself, so I'm not gonna bore her with the map.
Yeah, you can look at it.
So,
I can look over here, I'm good.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you're fine.
Here's the Mylar.
Which one are you gonna look at?
I've got it pretty well figured out. So this is Clinton Street, and this is the lot that's on Clinton Street, and it's, as you can see, it's been surveyed and split. Parcel A would remain with Lloyd, and then parcel B would be conveyed to Megan and Page, and then the deed conveying that would ask that B, along with their home at 38 Cherry, be merged into a single tax map parcel. So they'd have a little bit of a backyard now that they don't have. And then Lloyd would, he'd continue to have a backyard, it just wouldn't be as big as it is now. So the lots would be a little bit bigger and a little more elbow room. Any questions questions about what they would like to do?
Is Lloyd's lot currently this?
So there's two different tax map parcels. This is one tax map parcel, and then the lot at 42 Clinton is another tax map parcel. So the Clinton property is gonna be split. Parcel B would go to the ladies, and then parcel A, Lloyd would retain.
Okay. Is there any question that the county would like approve or disapprove
No,
of
we've
it?
done this before.
Okay.
Yeah, we put, I don't know the other words to it, but we put verbiage right in the conveying deed, asking them to merge the two parcels into a single tax map. As long as it's signed by both the grantor and the grantee, and I have a deed set up that way, they've always accepted that. Yeah, I don't wanna vouch for what the lot next door is like. It's not surveyed, I don't really know what the numbers are, but, it's certainly, I mean, the lot that's being subdivided is currently unimproved vacant land, so there's nothing on there, there's no house on there or anything of that.
So no demolition work or anything like that?
No, it's just a matter of reconfiguring the lot lines.
And Stephen, this is coming to the planning commission just simply because it's subdividing.
Yeah, so the county requires that our planning commission sign off on any, like, subdivisions, lot line adjustments. Because what you're looking for is to make sure, well, basically it's an administrative review to verify that the new parcels are conforming with whatever zoning ordinance we have. We're not just like willy-nilly building like land lots, random parcels that have no access, you know. So yeah, the problem with subdivision laws is typically set up for like, I have 400 acres that I'm gonna subdivide for housing. In this case, this is a very simple,
Right.
minor subdivision. The county just wants to see that you're signing off and saying, yeah, we're okay with it.
Okay. And does this also go to the zoning board?
No,
No. Okay.
No.
So we give final approval determination.
yes. Yeah, I have a copy of it. I mean, it seems to be doing exactly what we wanna do, which is to make parcels that are more conforming. So the existing parcels actually are barely, if not, they're not conforming with the old zoning code. We updated the zoning code to lower the lot sizes. So these will actually be more conforming.
Okay. And do we also have to determine this a type 2 under seeker?
Yeah, so I think I included the section under seeker. Because it's a minor lot line adjustment, they're not building housing, they don't need to extend infrastructure, there's no streets. It's just moving some imaginary lines around.
Okay.
I'll move that we declare this a type 2 action under seeker, granting individual setback and lot line variances and easements.
I'll second.
Any further discussion from the commission? Okay, call roll.
Chairman Pucci?
Yes.
Vice Chair Whisperger?
Yes.
Commissioner Maskey?
Yes.
Commissioner Baskin?
Yes.
Commissioner Lettuce? Commissioner Small?
Yes.
Commissioner Howell?
Recused.
Still coordinating.
Yep.
There you go, abstain. That's fine.
Great.
Do we have to?
Okay, go right. Then you have to approve the actual lot line adjustment.
Okay.
So
The site
after-
plan review, yeah.
After, yeah, now we have to approve the site plan.
Yeah.
Well, you approve the lot line, the subdivision.
So I will make a motion to approve the site plan and the lot land as it is presented.
Second.
Any further discussion from the commission? Call roll.
Chairman Pucci?
Yes.
Vice Chair Whisperger?
Yes.
Commissioner Maskey?
Yes.
Commissioner Baskin?
Yes.
Commissioner Lettuce?
Yes.
Commissioner Small?
Yes.
Commissioner Howell?
Now, the most important part of the evening has arrived. So you have to
You're gonna sign
this.
it.
Oh, great. All of them?
Well, is that asking too much? I don't need them all.
Should I do
Well, you're gonna wanna do it neatly because the county clerk is gonna require that I file that.
I'm neat.
Yeah, if you have, if your pen, as long as your pen will stay on here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny.
It should, right?
Just say it was
So.
It's
gel.
like, I think it's just ink, regular ink, I think. Should I use yours instead?
I don't know
It's a
what,
little
mine's any
spicy.
better.
Okay, so I'm signing,
If that one doesn't work, you can blame me.
like signature.
That's right.
Signature, name, date.
Yep.
Go down in history.
Love that.
Your name will forever be in the records of the SU County Clerk's office.
Do we need another member?
No, no, you just need the chair to sign.
Okay,
If you could just sign 2 more,
sure.
okay, and then the rest are fine. Try to get the county clerk to endorse the other 2 for me. One for Lloyd, one for Louise.
Thank you. One more. You want me to do this one
There's
too?
only one left.
You're on a roll, I don't wanna stop you.
There you are.
This is the one the clerk wants. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh,
No, I don't. I was looking for it, Paul.
okay. Okay, final order of business. We have Paul, is it Verdersumen? Vendersumen, love it, it's very Dutch. 32 Rose Avenue, proposing to adjust several parcel lines to create 2 parcels. You have the floor.
I'm not an expert at this, and hopefully it's my last time I do this, but, basically, throughout the years, we bought property on 32 Rose Avenue that got larger and larger, and now we have 8 acres, and we got 3 different parcels. They're all next to each other. So, there was a house in one of them, we took it down, or I took it down, and now it's just all vacant land, except one area which has the tennis club and the, am I upside down?
No.
Okay. The tennis club right here, the outdoor courts in our house, and what we'd like to do is divide the 3 properties, the 3 properties, make 2 properties out. One was, sorry, I gotta show you. Alright, right now, these are the 3 properties. 1, 2, 3. What we'd like to do is move this line, make this 1 property, parcel B, 4.5 acres. And these other properties, parcel A, 5, no changes to any buildings or lands or anything else. But right now, we've got potentially this, and this.
Where would the entrance to parcel be?
Parcel B has right away right here. Six feet. This is 6 feet.
Oh, there we go.
And then what you try to go.
Yeah, you get to present this.
I'll come down there, so you only have to do it once more.
So we got 3 parcels, 1, 2, 3. What we'd like to do, I'd like to do
application, we didn't get any map.
Yeah, we just haven't seen the map.
There's GPS coordinates, I think, on
Huh?
Nice legal description.
that.
Yeah.
It says that the map is attached and it's not.
There was no way to make it small, like, if you made it small,
Yes.
you couldn't
Yeah, you
tell
can see it.
anything.
So there's no improvements on parcel B right now? Just
Vacant land. And it's, the whole area, this whole area is commercial zone. So it's not residential.
You said it's zone residential?
Zone commercial. Commercial, got it.
What's the name of this?
This is the railroad.
No, I know, but on the other side of the tracks. I forget.
Lewis Ave or something like that, or no, well, Railroad Ave, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
The
It
cement
doesn't-
plant used to be here.
Right.
That's gone.
Right,
So, and I can't. do
right.
that.
There's Wells Avenue and then there's another, kind of goes down by the,
This is Rose Avenue. I don't know how many people already hit the post. Our lights went out today again. That's twice.
You and everybody
Yeah, that
else.
was everywhere.
Yeah.
On campus too, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so maybe it wasn't somebody turning.
power outage because somebody hit a post?
I don't know.
Oh, all right, all
It just
right. I
said-
know, I'm going
Oh.
off the agenda here, so so.
The one road there is McHugh Place, the
Oh, that's
store.
it,
That's off of
No,
Sam's.
I'm talking about the road that has the,
McHugh Place is
the
this.
depot.
Yeah, that's railroad.
Yeah.
Railroad.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on the other side of the railroad. Yeah.
This is McHugh Road right here. But the funny thing was that I think the lady, Helen Dawson lived there for the longest time. One of her sons or somebody was involved with the city of Omiya, started deciding to plow it.
What's the rationale? It's there anyway, what's the rationale for
Combining it, first of all, I'm getting old.
Who is it? Who is it?
Right, exactly. This is good news.
Me.
Bad news is that if I wanna, I just wanna simplify. If I wanna sell the property, I don't wanna sell it as a whole, I wanna sell half. The business part, I would be different.
Okay.
Did you say McHugh? So I did. Yeah.
So is that only McHugh though that gives access to that parcel B then?
No, there's one right here along the railroad track. That's the big one. That's pretty wide.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that on a map. So that's not an actual road right at the moment.
These are both private roads.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Google map and if it's there, it's long.
Yeah, there's one. Right
Okay.
now.
Okay,
'Cause
so
I
it's-
don't drive any trucks, and I just.
Right.
Or use my,
So it's basically like a paper road almost.
yes. Yeah. I think Helen Fisher is gonna own this property, and there's somebody else living there. And also there's access from Hudson.
Who owns the private roads? Do you own the private roads?
I think so. Well, hold up. I own it till our property line.
I was gonna say, if it's on the
And then,
parcel.
and then they have to give me the right to access. I had some arguments in the nineties with Mrs. Fisher, and she realized that the city only had given me the right of way.
Okay.
The person before that.
Okay. So it's probably in your deed, probably says
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah.
Probably a long time ago.
Huh?
It said somewhere in your abstract,
Yes,
probably a long time
yes,
ago.
yes. But, I just thought I brought I think, actually, just a Harlem to
roads? No, does anybody else have the right to use the roads?
There's actually a gate right here, 2 gates, no gates. Well, Steve,
Yep.
we're probably to accept this individually. Somebody has to sign it, the chairperson has to sign it.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions?
I'm good.
Questions from the commission? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to call this a type 2 action under seeker for granting of individual setback and lot line variances and adjustments.
Second.
Any further discussion from the commission? Call roll.
Chair Kikuchi?
Yes.
Vice Chair Risberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Maskin?
Yes.
Commissioner Baskin?
Yes.
Commissioner Lettis?
Yes.
Commissioner Swan?
Yes.
Commissioner Harlan?
Yes.
Passes.
And do we also need to make a motion to approve?
Or deny it.
Oh,
Or you can read the modification.
So I will make a motion to accept the site plan review as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion from the planning commission? Okay, call roll.
Chair Kikuchi?
Yes.
Vice Chair Risberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Maskin? Commissioner Baskin? Commissioner Lettis? Commissioner Swan?
Yes.
Commissioner Harlan? Passes.
And I will sign that for you.
Good luck, Paul.
Yeah, that's just, problem is with real estate agents, they look at it and they go, why do we have to sell 3 lots or 4 lots?
There you are. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Are you Walt's brother? Son?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. Yeah,
It's all right. Walt still looks like he's 30. So.
Yeah, Walt still looks
Yeah.
like 30. I remember driving the school bus in 1974 or 5. Walt was one of the first, I think he was like this small. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business for the commission?
I think it would be helpful if we got some of these materials earlier. We had an email sent, early this month, maybe saying that they'd be available on the planning commission website the week of the 8th, and they weren't. So I just think, we're all really busy and it would be helpful. Some of these could have been complicated, and fortunately, we had the material to be able to make an informed decision, but I'd ask that, if we can try to make those accessible.
Why they weren't, when we go offline, but it was in those conditions, hopefully we'll never ever meet again.
Anyone else? I will make a motion to adjourn.